Welcome to our latest update on the ongoing war in Ukraine from the War Insider. The 353rd day of war has started. The main news on the morning of February 11th is new arms aid to Ukraine, the massive missile strike on Ukraine, the rout of the column of occupiers under Vuhledar. We'll start as usual with a military map of the battle actions. The losses of the Russians over the past day amount to 1140 people. On the border with Belarus, no changes. About 5,000 Russian soldiers are in Belarus. However, this is not enough for an offensive. On the Svartovay section, positional battles continue. No changes on the map have been recorded. The Bakhmut section defense forces continue to hold Krasnohora and Proskovivka. Even attacking from three sides, the enemy cannot take these villages. On the northern outskirts of Bakhmut, Wagner fighters moved 2 to 3 km to the west, taking control of a section near the main M03 highway leading to the city. In Bakhmut, urban battles continue. The enemy's successes have not been recorded. Russians have pulled reserves to the road near Ivanovskoye. Heavy assaults took place during the day, but all of them were beaten back. Ukrainian forces in the area of the road are doing everything possible and even more. The Avdiivka section, the enemy column to the north of Opatny, has been broken. Another column that stormed Nevelskoye today has been defeated. The Zaporizhia section, the enemy has taken the gray zone near Lugovskoye and in the village of Mirnoy. Under Vuhledar, the Russians managed to bypass the western outskirts of the city, although they suffered heavy losses and dropped about 30 armored vehicles. The occupiers carried out massive strikes on energy facilities in various cities in Ukraine for an entire day. 3 ships in the Black Sea and 2 95 strategic bombers were used to carry out the strikes. From 2150 on February 9th to the evening of February 10th, Russian forces launched 106 missiles. 74 of them were guided missiles X-101X 555-46, caliber 28, and up to 32 missiles from the S-300 complex. Of the 74 guided missiles, 61 were shot down by the Ukrainians. In addition, the enemy used 28 Shahed-type combat drones, 22 of which were shot down by the forces and means of the Ukrainian armed forces. The following damages were caused by the strikes. In Khmelnytsky, there was a critical infrastructure target hit and a part of the city lost power. In Kryvyi Rog, debris from an enemy missile fell on the road. No one was hurt. In Kharkiv, around 150,000 families are without electricity, and 8 people were injured as a result of the strike. In Kiev, missile debris damaged a car and the roof of a private house in the Holosivsky district. Zaporizhia was also shelled. Energy and industrial infrastructure objects were damaged, and fires broke out. The most difficult situation with energy is in the Zaporozhye, Kharkiv, and Khmelnytsky regions, reported the Minister of Energy of Ukraine, Herman Halashenko. Emergency power outages are taking place in 6 regions. In general, Ukrainian air defense forces destroyed 61 out of 74 enemy missiles. On the screens, you can see how the Ukrainians shot down an Iranian drone kamikaze. It was shot down by the air defense forces of the Dnep anti-aircraft missile brigade East. And in this video, you can see how Ukrainian fighters shoot down a Russian missile from a portable anti-aircraft missile complex. The Ukrainians use a combined defense system, including portable defense means. The location of the incident is unknown. And in the next video, an episode from the Star Wars film is not shown. You can see how Ukrainian military personnel try to shoot down the Iranian Shahed attack drone in the Kharkiv region. Massive strikes are a reaction to President Vladimir Zelensky's successful trip to several European capitals, according to Matti Masikas, head of the European Union delegation to Ukraine. In today's shelling, 2 Russian-caliber missiles crossed the Ukrainian state border and were in the airspace of the Republic of Moldova and Romania. Moldova confirmed this information, while the Romanian side denied it. Russia is provocating NATO because losing a war to NATO would be less dishonorable than losing a war to Ukraine. The best thing NATO can do in this situation is to promptly make a decision on a large aid package to Ukraine with the delivery of modern aircraft. In Starobelsk in the Lugansk region, the surgical department of a local hospital has been set up as a military hospital due to a large number of injured occupiers. The use of mobile crematoria by the enemy has been reported in the region. Today it became known that on February 8, Ukrainian defenders attacked an airport in temporarily occupied Berdyansk. With this strike, our warriors destroyed more than 100 occupiers. Also, a warehouse with ammunition and lubricating materials and a radar station were damaged, reported the city's military administration. Italy and France will transfer the SAMPS air defense system to Ukraine, said Italian Prime Minister Meloni. She stated that this decision will be announced in the coming days. It is noted that with this system, Ukraine will be able to shoot down Russian X-22 missiles, one of which destroyed a building entrance in Dnipro on January 14, killing 46 people. 80 Leopard 2 tanks should be ready for transfer to Ukraine by the end of March, said Olaf Scholz. According to him, Berlin is trying to accelerate this process with partners, but investing by the end of March will not be easy. 35 countries have spoken out against Russian participation in the Olympics. A group of 35 countries, including the US, Germany, France, the UK, and Japan, spoke out against the participation of Russian and Belarusian athletes in the Paris Olympics. The Ukrainian forces destroyed a column of the 155th Brigade of the occupying Marine Infantry under Vuhledar. Russian social media pages report the loss of 13 enemy T-72B tanks, 12 BMP-12, 2 MT-Pound, and 1 IMR. In reality, about 30 units of equipment. All day in Russian media, the incompetent command, and the joyful fact for the Ukrainians that they lost about half of the tank battalion belonging to the brigade is discussed. We are preparing a separate video on this topic as there are many interesting details. Stay with us. This is all the news for today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. We'll be back with more updates and information tomorrow. Thanks for watching.